Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the Scribe Tribe, to another Galaxy of Heroes video. It is Friday morning and I know exactly what you're thinking. Why has Scribe been replaced by Charles Bronson? No, you're probably thinking, hey, it's Friday morning. You know what? We should be getting galactically challenged. We are greeted by a swathe of lovely modifiers for this particular galactic challenge, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have the Frigid Expanse Global modifier, and that means every turn we take, we are going to get a stack of Frostbite. If Frostbite gets to 10 stacks, we are going to lose that unit. Stacks of these Frostbite also decrease our crit chance and our potency and our speed. We can remove this with a new granted ability, Thermal Regulate, which is basically like cutting open one of those tauntauns and climbing inside it and just making yourself all nice and cozy and gooey. So, as this is for the lovely Hutt Cartel, we do have the wonderful Permission Player modifier, and that means our Hutt Cartel allies simply cannot die unless they've removed 100% of the starting protection of the leader. So that means we've got an easy galactic challenge on our hands, and I love it. The enemy has got Thrill of the Hunt. They get a load of stacking defense at this start. We need to chew through these layers of stone skin, if any of you are D&D fans, to eventually get to a point where we can actually hurt them. Now, what I will say about this particular lineup, this particular team, is they are juicy double thick. We are talking hundreds of thousands of hit points apiece. It is ridiculous how much health these guys have got, but don't worry. Your boy Scribe has got your back and we will get these feats done. Speaking of feats, guys, we need to win with a full team of Hutt Cartel allies, and how I love to use the Hutt Cartel. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. We need to crush them, defeat 3 enemies in the same turn. Yeah, that's entirely possible. If you've got Slacker, very easy. If not, a little bit more tricky, but we can still manage it, don't you worry. And then we need to complete the battle after attempting to apply thermal detonators 40 times. Not actually apply them, you only have to attempt. But seeing as though we are using Hutt Cartel, and Hutt Cartel has got that bushy layer, I don't think we're going to have any troubles there. Let's go into the first video. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to go in with a Cad Bane lead with Boba Fett and the 3 Hutt Cartel marquee characters. Thanks to our global modifier, not our global modifier, player modifier, they cannot kill any of our units until they get rid of 100% of Cad Bane's protection. Now, this does not save us from death from the Frostbite, so you do need to manage that a little bit. What I would say is probably focus on Bouche Layer at the start, and then look to kill their Boba Fett once. They cannot trigger their contract until they kill the character who has gone first, so if they cannot get around Cassanton's taunt, they'll never trigger contract, which means Mando will never get to use his disintegrate ability. So, kill Bouche Layer first, and then just look to kill one of Boba Fett's stacks of Bounty Hunter's Resolve. You don't need to kill him twice, it's not necessary. When he's got that Bounty Hunter's Resolve, he's able to ignore taunt, so you want to make sure that you take that off him so he doesn't have an opportunity of ignoring Cassanton. Now, obviously, OG Mando can also get rid of, can also ignore taunts while he's got that Bounty Hunter's Resolve, but honestly, he doesn't deal nearly enough damage for that to be a concern for us. Once you've killed off that first stack, just manage everything. Manage your cooldowns of Frostbite, manage the enemy team. If you can strip off the taunt and retribution off Cassanton using Cad Bane's stun like that, all the better. Do that and then start focusing on the other people. Grief is obviously annoying because he does keep constantly pass that retribution and he's able to heal up people, and that's incredibly frustrating, but he's not too bad to get rid of. You see those the thermal detonators from Bouche Layer doing really good work. If you've got better geared Hutt Cartel, you could probably get all the feats done with this one team. I can't be bothered to mess around with trying to get that to work. I can't be bothered to try and gear my units. Not happening, guys. So, in my opinion, much easier just to get them done in 2 separate attempts. So, focus down Grief. Once Grief is out, they lose all their healing, all their recovery. After that, just make sure you don't let any of your units max out on Frostbite stacks, and just kill them all one by one. Cassanton is so incredibly useful in this particular lineup because he is basically going to perma-taunt, and because he's slow, the enemy team is going to be going fast. If you use Skiff Guard Lando to put the dispel and buff on him, so he'll get retribution. He'll constantly counterattack, and that will also put shock on the enemy team. Super, super useful. Make sure that they don't have any health steal shenaniganry going on. And as you can see, it's really not so bad. About 3 minutes is all it takes to get through. And these are with trash tier Hutt Cartel. Well, I suppose Cad Bane and Boba Fett have got high relics, but if you've got Executor, you'll be in the same shoes as I am. Beautiful. So that will actually get all the feats for you apart from the killing 3 enemies in 1 turn, the crush them feat, which is always a bit of an irritating feat, and in this particular setup, it's more annoying again. And that's mostly because their health pool is astronomical, stratospherical. It is the size of the universe. It is the Force incarnate. They have got more health than I've got. No, wait a minute, I don't have a lot of here. They've got more health than you or me combined twice, and then multiplied by a power of 4. So, what are we going to do about that? Well, personally, I like to go ahead and use gas because he can reduce max health. However, I'm not going to use a gas lead because I do actually want Boba Fett and Mando reviving, because it gives you just a little bit more time to lower the max health of the rest of the team. But before we look into the video, how about you give that like button a little bit of a lick, a little bit of a click? You know, do it for me, please. And maybe subscribe while you're there. Let's get into the video. Ladies and gentlemen, so the team that we're going to be using is going to be Jedi Knight Revan with Jedi Knight Luke. We're throwing in Gas, we're throwing in Shakti, and we're throwing in Hermit Yoda. So the principle of this entire setup is we want to try and reduce everybody's max health as much as possible by using Gas. So those of you that don't know, when Gas attacks someone that does not have protection, he decreases their max health by 20%. And as you'll see with this particular lineup, these guys have got so much max health, it's damn near impossible to drop them all with an AoE unless you do stuff like decrease their max health. Otherwise, you need astronomical amounts of stacking offense to really get it done. Or having an AoE insta-kill. The likes of C might potentially be able to get this done, but I imagine that's still pretty tricky. So I just removed Bouche Leia out the gate because I don't like her. Kill her. After that, you want to try and just decrease everybody's max health in a methodical way. So I like to focus on one character at a time, get rid of their protection, and then just call Gas in to assist as frequently as you possibly can. So Shakti is useful here because she's got a call to assist. She's also got a cleanse. She's got a heal. She dispels on a basic. Super, super useful character to have. Luke is mostly there because he's got another call to assist. He's also got a mass stun that inflicts vulnerable, so we're guaranteed to crit. Jedi Knight Revan's leadership is just awesome, and Hermit Yoda is just a don. So, yeah, it's a good setup. So, I'm just concentrating on bringing everybody's protection away, and then when I can and I see an opportunity, we're just going to focus down one person at a time, start calling in Gas. You see that? See the amount of damage we just did to Boba Fett? It's next to nothing. 2 calls to assist there. Next to nothing. 3 calls to assist here. Boom. Next to nothing. The amount of max health these guys have is ridiculous. So, just keep working away. Use Gas as AoE, but make sure you save one for right at the end. Make use of the fact that Boba Fett and OG Mando have got that Bounty Hunter's Resolve. They're able to revive. And because Gas is not in the leadership, it does mean that he does not permadeath them, you know? So, yeah. I like to use the fact that they can always revive, so we've got a meat shield almost for when we don't want to attack the ads on the side, you know, Greef Karga and Kassantan. Now, both Greef and Kassantan are also incredibly thick in this. Not a whole lot we can do about that. You just need to constantly chip away at them. So try to remove their max protection, their protection, and call in Gas once they have no protection. It won't decrease their max health if they've still got even a sliver of protection left. So we're just doing the assist here with Luke, get rid of the protection there, and start working on Greef's max health. Boba Fett right now is in a bad way. He's lost a lot of max health. We can see by the amount of damage he took there. I'm using an AoE here, putting that armor shred on Kassantan. He's obviously the tank. He's very, very thick. And then just continually call lots of assists on people to decrease their max health. What we don't want to do is kill them too quickly or let them kill themselves with the frostbite. So it's a delicate balancing act, guys. Just constantly calling in assists where we can. Like I said, we can use that Bounty Hunter's Resolve that these guys have got to sort of act as a buffer for attacks when we don't want to attack other people. But generally speaking, you just want to be calling in gas very, very frequently. Boom, decrease that max health, decrease that max health. You see that? That was about, what, 30,000 damage, and it did less than 10% of grief max health, and he's already lost a bunch. So these guys have got probably about 500,000, 600,000 health, I would say, each. And that's grief. He's not a particularly thick individual. So here we go. When you use Strategic Advantage, which is the granted ability from Jedi Knight Revan's leadership, Gas will actually use one of his specials because he always does 2 attacks. So be mindful of that because you can actually accidentally put your AoE on cooldown. So make sure that you have that cooldown available for when you've prepped everybody. So right now I'm just continuing to decrease people's max health. You see Grief there is now getting to a point where he's actually getting hurt quite badly by our attacks, which means his max health has dropped significantly. When you get to that point, you might not want to use Luke's Call to Assist ability because that will actually put Jedi's will on the Jedi and then they will counterattack. You don't want that accidentally killing people. Okay, you want to be able to time this correctly. So I'm just reducing people's max health here. I think we're just going to go for a basic on Grief. He's in the red right now. We're looking pretty. Boba Fett's in the red right now. Everybody's looking nice and low. I think we go after Kasantan now, get him down into the red, and that's the ideal scenario that you want to be in. We've got Gas, he's got offense up, we've got 4 people on relatively low health, and here comes the AoE, and bop. That's exactly what you want to get done. Now, bear in mind, if you kill them when they have that Bounty Hunter's Resolve, it won't count, guys. So make sure you at least shred it off one person first. Super. And that is another episode of Galactically Challenge done and dusted. We managed to get all the feats with just 2 teams. I'm sure you can get it done as well. Let me know in the comment section down below, how did you eat yours? More importantly, hit that like button, consider subscribing to your boy Scribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.